Hi everyone, welcome to Knowledge Center. Today I am going to explain about a program by which we can find out the largest number from the given set of numbers or given array. So here you can have a look over the question. Write a program to find the largest number from an array. So some set of data will be given. From that you need to find the largest number. Starting from 20h and store it in internal memory 40h. So that number set of array is going to start at 20h. And you have to store the largest number in 40h. That is the question. So here I have given the set of data. At 20h I have started the data. So these are the address 20, 21 up to 25h. So how many data I have given? I am just considering 6 data. So among these 6 data, which is the largest? That is what you need to find. And that largest number has to be stored at 40h. So this is the data we need to give, and once you execute the program, we should get the answer out of it in 40h. So at 40h finally we need to get the answer. But just looking into this data, you being a human being, we can identify that 0a is the largest number. So finally I should get 0a here. 0a is nothing but, that is in hexa, in decimal it is 10. So this will be the largest number from the set. But how this microcontroller is going to work? Let's understand that. If you understand the logic of identifying the largest number, then according to that we can write a program. So let me tell you how we can use this microcontroller to find the number, largest number. Generally what we do, we will compare the first number with the second number. So here this number has to be compared with the second number. So among these two, definitely 5 is the largest number. So we need to forget about 2. We just need to hold this 5 as the largest number. That 5 has to be taken. Among these two, 2 is smallest, so we will leave this. Now which is the largest here? 5. So that 5 will be compared with the next number. Now among these two, this is the largest, so we forget 5. Then I will take 8 and compare it with 3. So this is how we need to work. So we have to compare two digits and identify which is larger and which is smaller. So to do this, in microcontroller, we can use one instruction, that is compare instruction. So let me tell you about that. So we have a compare instruction, and the syntax of that is something like this: CJNE, and you will have a destination, comma source, comma label. Right. So destination is nothing but, there I have to have an accumulator, that is the restriction. So we should have, in place of destination, we should have an accumulator as a register. In place of source, we should have a direct address, means we should have an address of the data. And label means where you need to jump, you should give a label over there. So now I will take up an example and explain it. First let us understand what is this CJNE. CJNE stands for compare and jump if not equal. So it is going to compare the data which is stored in destination and source. If those two data are not equal, compare, and jump if not equal. If those two data are not equal, then it will jump. Where it has to jump? It will jump to this label. Wherever you write that label in a program, to that line it is going to jump. So now this instruction will be used to identify the larger number, even smaller number also. We have one special factor for this instruction. Let me tell you that point also, because that is an important thing here. CJNE, whenever this instruction executed, when we execute this particular instruction, some of the flags are going to get affected. Especially the carry flag will get affected. Carry flag is going to get affected. But there is one condition. The carry flag is going to become 0 if content of destination is greater than or equal to source. Right? If not, then carry is going to become high. Means if destination is lesser than source. So this condition you need to remember. This is going to play an important role in this finding of largest number. Right? So carry is going to become 0 if destination is greater than source, see, this is the thing you need to understand. Here, this CJNE, this is the syntax I have written. This is the syntax. Now let me take an example. So I will write the example of this CJNE. In place of destination, I will take A. In place of source, let me take some address like 10H, and let me take a loop. This is the label. I can give any name over there. So I written loop. So when you write CJNA, this is the destination. So one data has to be there. Whatever the data I have here, if you want to compare these two datas, one data has to be there in accumulator, and the other data should be stored in some register, some address. Rather than this, I'll take another address, fixed address. I'll take 10H. So I will take this into accumulator and this into 10H, and then compare it. If those two are equal, if these two are not equal, then it will jump to this particular loop. If these two are equal, then it will come for next line. That is the concept. And it is not only jumping. Before jumping, it will make the changes in the carry flag also. So now let's see how can I use all this concept to find the largest number, right? So let's have a look over that. So first I think the logic, the concept is clear for you. Still I am not clearly explained to you regarding the logic. But I have explained to you what we need to do. We need to use this instruction to compare the data. How to compare? Let's see that. So first we need to take this data into accumulator, and then this has to be taken into 10H. So first let us write that part. So to do that, let me write a program now. So let's see how to write a program. So first thing, we need to assign this address. Because in question it is mentioned we need to start from 20H. So org is the very first line and start with 000H. Okay. After that, let me assign this 20H to one register, because we need to increment it. We should go on incrementing that 20 and 21, 22 like that. So I will assign it for one register. Say move or not, comma hash 20H. I have assigned that 20H to R0. So R0 will be having 20H. Then there I am giving a data. That's okay. Now this data has to be taken into accumulator, and we need to compare. I told you that I should compare these two. Then I have to compare these two. So how many comparisons will be there? If we have 6 number of input, to make one comparison, I need to get 2 inputs. So if we have two inputs, then we can make one comparison. Now I have 6 inputs here. So how many comparisons will be possible? If I have 6 minus 1, that is 5. I'll tell you, if you have two numbers, I can make one comparison. A and B can be compared together. So one comparison. 2 minus 1. If I have 6 data, then 6 minus 1, 5 comparisons can be done. So we are making 5 comparisons over there. So we need to assign that to particular register. How many times you are repeating this? How many times you are making a comparison? So let me assign that for one particular register like R2, and I will assign a number 5. Here I am not assigning how many numbers we are giving. We are assigning how many comparisons will be done. So 0, 5 means you can give 6 data. That's okay. Next, what I need to do, I should take this into accumulator. So to do that, we have instruction again move. Where do we have this? We have it in 20H, and 20H is assigned to R0. So I can write the content of R0. So at R0, and that has to be given to accumulator. So move A comma at R0. Then what happens? The content of R0 is having 20. At 20 I have 5. That will be taken into accumulator. I got this first part. That's okay, clear. Now I want this into 10H. You can take any other address here. It's not only 10H, but leave this and take something different. I will take 10H here. So move this to 10H. So how to do that? For that, where we have this at 21H. So we need to increment this. So what we need to do? I will increment this R0. Increment R0. If you increment that R0, this is going to become 21. R0 will be pointing towards 21 now. So we have here. And now that data we have, what we have here, that I will take it into 10H. So we can write it like this. Move 10H, comma R0. So that's what we can do it over there. But when you write this move 10h comma R0, we get the number R0 what we have 21. But I want what is the what is there at R0. At R0 I have 2. So we should write it as move 10h comma at R0. Right. So what do we get now here? The 10h will have 2 and accumulator will have 5. First two data are available. Now let's compare it. Okay. So use an instruction called CJNE. I will compare this. So I will compare accumulator with 10h. Okay. Then I will say a loop, a label. So compare and jump if not equal. So first let's see whether these two data are equal here. No. A is having 5 and 10h is having 2. Those two are not equal. If not equal, let's jump to loop. It will jump to loop. If equal, what happens? Let's take it later. If not equal, it will jump immediately here. So if equal, what happens? We don't know. So I will leave some space here and I will write somewhere here. Say this is the label. If those two are not equal, I will jump to this line. Now according to this data, these two are not equal. So it will jump to this line, loop. Okay. So what has to be done? If those two are not equal, now it is very clear that those two are not equal. So it means that either there has to be accumulator content has to be greater or smaller. So you need to identify that. So for that what we do, we make use of the carry flag. Because as I told you, when CJNE is executed, even carry flag will also get affected. Now tell me, now you just analyze what will be the effect on carry flag. Because we know the content of A, we know the content of 10h. A is having 5, 10h is having 2. When destination is greater than source, the carry flag will be 0. Remember that. I will write it here. If destination is greater than or equal to source, then carry flag will be 0. If not, it will be 1. Now destination is this, source is this. So destination is greater. 5 is greater than 2. So carry flag will be 0. So we need to understand. We need to read this. System doesn't know, right? We need to make that system to read this carry flag now. So we need to check this carry flag, whether the carry is 0 or high. So what we can conclude here, if carry is 0, then we can conclude that the content of accumulator itself is the largest number in comparison of these two. Right? So now what we do, this has been generated already. It has been generated by the system. So now what we do, here we need to check that carry flag. So to check that carry flag, we have an instruction called JC and JNC. JC means jump if carry, JNC means jump if not carry. So if no carry, I will use that instruction now, JNC. Jump if no carry. If no carry, what it means? Accumulator number itself is larger. Okay? Accumulator, what we have the number in accumulator, that number itself is a larger number. Okay? So what we do, if there is no carry, let's say I will jump down. I will write some label. Jump if no carry. Where should I jump? I should jump to this label. Right? So let's write that label by leaving some space here. One line I will leave. Because if there is no carry, you should jump here. If there is carry, what has to be done? Still we don't know that. So I will leave some line here. So I will write down somewhere here. This is the another label. Okay. If there is no carry, it is an indication that accumulator content of accumulator is larger number. It's very clear. Okay. Because we don't have carry means this itself is the whatever the data I have in accumulator, that is larger number. So it means that I can ignore this. I can leave that 2. And I can start comparing this accumulator content with the next number, that is this number. I can compare it to the next number. So let's write that line now. So if there is no carry, I will come to this label. And here what I will do, I will forget this. Okay. And I will jump to this particular address. So to do that, what we need to do? To jump to this particular address, 22, what we can do? We can just increment that particular register. So where do we store this? We store it in R0. So we will increment it. So increment INC R0. Increment R0. So increment R0 means now R0 will be pointing towards 22H. So this is skipped. This is skipped. Okay, accumulator is having 5, R0 is pointing towards this. Now what we need to do is, I should take this into 10H now. Now this has been removed, so you should take this into 10H. So for that already we have an instruction. We have this line here, move, here it is, move 10H comma at R0. So instead of writing it again, you come back to this line. You take this into 10H and start comparing this with the accumulator. That's it. Then the process has to be repeated. So we should come back to this line now. To come back to that line, what we need to do here? We should have a jump instruction. So what is that jump instruction? We use D, J, N, Z. This is the instruction we use, D, J, and Z. And what is the decrement? Decrement and jump if not 0. So what should be decremented? We should decrement this count. One comparison has been done. Have you completed the comparisons? Not yet. Still 4 comparisons has to be done, right? So this number has to be decremented. So DJ and Z are 2. If it is not 0, jump. So where should I jump? Let me take some label like up. So that has to be written here for this particular line. So let's see what happens now. So increment R0 means R0 is pointing towards 22H, and now decrementing R2. So R2 will become 4. It was 5. Now it will become 4. It's not 0. So it will come to this line up. Let's see what happens here. Move 10H comma at R0. So whatever we have this at R0, that is 8, it will be given to 10H. So let me clear it. So this data is vanished now. So this is going to be in 10H. Right. So in accumulator we have 5 and in 10H we have 8. Let's do the comparison. We need to do this comparison now. This is second comparison. Okay. Right. So this we got it into 10H and CJ again we compare it. These two are again not equal. Compare and jump if not equal. Yes, these two are not equal. These two are not equal. So it will jump here. And check for carry. If there is no carry, we should come here. But now what happens here? Will you get a carry? Yes, because destination is lesser than source now. Destination is lesser than source. This is accumulator with the destination. That is lesser than source. So now what happens? The carry flag will be high. Okay. So if there is no carry, we should come here. But if there is a carry, it means accumulator is having a smaller value compared to this data, compared to the content of 10H. So what it indicates? I want the largest number in accumulator, but here I have smallest number now. So it indicates that the content of 10H is the largest number. The content of 10H is the largest number. So this largest number, you just move it to accumulator. So if there is no carry, you could have come here. But this is failed now because I have a carry. If there is carry, what has to be done? If there is a carry, it is an indication that the content of accumulator is smaller. So the content of 10H is greater. So take that 10H into accumulator. So write an instruction for that. Move A comma 10H. So just write it like this. So the content of 10H will be given to accumulator. So now content of 10H will be given to accumulator. So after this, so now therefore I can say accumulator is going to have this 08. This 5 will be removed from the accumulator and accumulator will have 8 in it. So 5 and 2 both are vanished now. 8 is in accumulator. After this it will come to this line. Increment R0. That's why I have left on line here, right? So increment R0. So if increment R0, it will be pointing towards 23H and decrement R2. So R2 will be decremented. So it is going to become 4. It's not 0. So it will come back here again. Now just take this number into this content will be taken into 10H. Now we need to make these two comparisons. That is third comparison. Then compare it again. Okay. When we compare it again, these two are not equal. These two 8 and 3 are not equal. So we will come to this line. Check for carry. Accumulator is larger, so you will not get carry. No carry, so it will come here. This line will not execute, it will come here. Increment R0. So you directly leave this because it is a smaller number. Increment R0 and take this 0A. Right? Take this 0A. This is also over. Now accumulator is having 8 and let me take 0A. This will be taken into 10H. Compare it. Not equal will come here. But now accumulator is smaller, content of accumulator is smaller, content of 10H is larger. So we get a carry. Again what you need to do, if you get a carry, you will come to this line and take it into accumulator. Move that into accumulator. So what happens? Accumulator will get 0A in it, and then increment R0. So this is increment R0. Okay, and decrement R2. It's going to become 4. So it will be decremented. So this is how it's going to repeat. Now let me take, this is also smallest number. So finally, after R2 becomes 0, once R2 becomes 0, accumulator will have the largest number in it, that is 0A. Right? But here I have left some space. What happens if both are equal? What happens if both are equal? If you have the equal number, for example, there we have A and 6. Instead of that, if you have a and A, what happens to that? So if there is both are equal, then it will come immediately here. If those two are not equal, it will jump. If equal, then come to the next line. So what has to be done? Nothing has to be done. If both are equal, no need of interchanging it. Right? So what we do, we just put a S jump, short jump, and we'll come here, down. We'll jump to this line, S jump, down. Because I don't want to execute this. I don't want to check for carry. If both are equal, no need of changing. Accumulator is having A, and even this is 10H is also having A, then you can't, no need of changing it. Both are same, right? So both will be the larger number. So any one has to be written. So these two lines has to be skipped and directly should come to this line. So that is how we need to write a programs. So after this is not the end. Okay, so after comparison, after these 5 comparisons, finally what happens? This A is going to be in the accumulator. That is the largest number. So, but I want to store that answer in 40H. Right? So after coming out of this immediately, we know that the largest number will be stored in accumulator. Largest number will be stored in accumulator. So to get that largest number, into 40H, what we can do? We can use move 40H, comma A. So the content of A will be given to 40H. So that will be given to 40H. So the answer will be there in 40H. After that, we can just stop it. So by using SJMP, you can put a label here, and the same label I can write it here, and end. This is the last line. Right. So this is about the finding the largest number. Repeat the process. Watch it from the beginning to the end, so that you can understand the concept easily. And here one point I think we made a mistake at this line. Here move A, 10H. Okay. You can do it this, or instead of this you can also take a move A, at or not. Okay, you can try it like this only. Move A, 10H. It's correct, not a problem. Okay. So now let's go for a smallest number. I will not change the program. Only one instruction has to be changed so that we can find the smallest number. That is, I'll just tell you the logic. See what we have done here. If there is a carry, then it indicates that accumulator is having the smallest number. If there is no carry, then accumulator is having the largest number. That is what we understood here, right? So just by changing this, we can get the smallest number. So I will give that as an assignment for you. I will write a program. You just try to analyze it step by step. Okay, because the programming can be understood by you guys only once if you start implementing it, start writing it. Okay, so you can't learn it by just looking into the programs. Okay, so I have explained the logic. Now you write the same for a smallest number. I will also give the program. If I just make this small change, this is going to become a program for a smallest number. Instead of JNC, if you use JC, that itself is a program for a smallest number. So logic, you apply this same concept and understand how it becomes the smallest number. Because when we compare, the smallest number is there, will be available in accumulator if you do this. So you analyze it and understand it. Then only you can become perfect with the programs. I hope this is clear. Okay. So in next video, we shall take up another program that is positive and a negative number. Thank you.